Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. And it's they made what into a TV series? You know what it is? It's Donkey Kong Country. We're up to episode 31. Monkey Seer, Monkey Do, or episode 5 of season 2. This one is written by, who else? Erica Strobel. Yeah. There's a storm over Congo Bongo and Cranky is acting like a mad scientist with a pipe organ and even doing a "It's Alive," you know, Frankenstein phrase. Ha ha, I guess?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Except it's not actually alive, which was even dubber as well.
Yep.
Because there's a statue of DK and Cranky is trying to come up with an epitaph for it. Why he's created a statue for DK, I have no clue.
Nope.
No idea. But he is struggling to come up with an epitaph and gets annoyed when he looks and sees DK relaxing, eating bananas in the crystal coconut. He then comes up with an idea and gets the coconut to teleport him to where DK is. As a hologram, he orders DK to come to his cabin. Cranky then leaves, and DK, Funky, and Diddy talk as a storm rages outside. So it's stormy weather. Nice, different looking visuals, at least.
Yeah,
normally we get, like, you know, sunny all the time and all that. So it was nice to see a bit of rain, clouds, and lightning, really.
Yeah, different, yeah.
Looking amongst Funky's junk, Diddy finds a lamp. A lava lamp, because get it? Funky, hippie, yeah?
Yep.
And Funky claims that his great uncle, Spacey, did you catch that?
Yep.
Yep. Gave him the lamp and it can predict the future, but only he can translate it. Yeah, sure, why not? I already knew Funky was talking shit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Diddy is soul and Funky sings the Mystic Oracle Summoning Chant. Get used to hearing this chant. Yes. That is the major song of this episode. In fact, it's the only song, this chant, but done via different versions by different people.
And over and over again, over and over again.
Over and over again. He then translates and Funky is going to go surfing and apparently catch an epic wave. That's the future that's predicted for Funky. He's going to be able to go surfing and catch an epic wave. Of course, DK laughs at this, seeing as it's raining outside. And Diddy's future is then revealed, claiming that he will be the smartest monkey to ever live. And I'm going to call bullshit on this prediction a little bit later on, but fair enough. DK is still not convinced by any of this, and Funky reveals that the lamp reckons DK is going to be living lonely all week long. It's very, very specific.
Yeah.
DK points out that can't be the case because he has a date with Candy every night of the week. How can he be lonely?
Yep.
Things start to come true though, as the storm breaks and the sun comes out and Funky heads off to catch his wave. Clump and Crusher had been spying though, and report back to K. Rool, who orders them to continue their surveillance. Shaking your head. Well, you know this is where it's going to go. I don't know why you're surprised at this stage.
He's clearly got cameras all over the goddamn island.
Yep.
So why does he need us two idiots to surveil?
Because the cameras don't have sound.
Okay. Oh,
there we go.
Okay, fair.
DK and Diddy run into Dixie in the jungle and Diddy fixes her fishing rod. She's so happy she kisses him and calls him the smartest monkey to ever live, which makes Diddy more convinced that the lamp can predict the future. That's not making him the smartest monkey that ever lived. That's just Dixie saying it. That is a bullshit prediction. The prediction should have been Dixie will call you the smartest monkey that ever lived.
Yes.
Not you are the smartest monkey that ever lived. Behind him though, hologram Cranky appears and startles them. At his hut, DK and Diddy are impressed by the statue and Cranky orders DK to come up with the inscription. And Diddy then tells them about the lamp. Of course, Cranky isn't interested. He knows it's nonsense and orders them to leave, which they do. So this is the major crux of this episode. DK has to come up with an epitaph for his statue. Swinging through the jungle, DK and Diddy continue to argue about the future. Candy's call interrupts him and DK finds that she's cancelling all her dates all week as she has to work double shifts at the factory. Yes.
Ridiculous.
It is so ridiculous. Bluster has a huge order apparently. She needs to work double shifts. It comes back to that thing that we've always been confused about. Why is she the only one with a job?
She's the only one who works in the goddamn factory too.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell, man?
Absolutely. Diddy, though, is so happy with this result as it means the lamp was 3 for 3 when it comes to predictions. He comes up with the idea of asking the lamp what DK should do now. Hey, if it predicts the future, let's ask it what should happen now. Something that Clump and Crusher have been listening to. And K. Rool then orders them to get the lamp, figuring, yeah, I want that. Yeah.
Yep.
At Funky's, they find no one there and figure they can work out what Funky did to activate it themselves. So Diddy does his version of the chant. And apparently that does make it seem to work. But Diddy can't read it properly and seems to think it's related to Buster's Barrel Factory. Desperate to know more, DK grabs it and accidentally turns it off. So that's where we get the clue that it's bullshit. Because he actually turns the lava lamp off. That now makes them think, for some reason, that they need to go and sabotage the barrel factory. I'm like, why?
I've got no... Where the hell did they got this prediction from?
No
idea.
No idea. Like, I get the whole, like, we turned it off, maybe, and he was like, oh, because it's now gone off, that means I need to turn the barrel factory off. But it's also like, you know this is a really bad idea. Like, you know it's a terrible idea.
Someone's like Donkey Kong is jealous. He wants to destroy Blasters because he's making his girlfriend.
That would be nuanced detail. We're not getting that in this at all. Not at all. Cranky then appears and demands to hear DK's epitaph, but he blows him off. They then head off to the factory, allowing Clump and Crusher to get the lamp. At K. Rool's lair, the lizard is unimpressed by the lamp, unsurprisingly, but Clump does his version of the chant to show the king. Nothing happens as we get a montage of different attempts to get the Mystic Oracle summoning chant to work, including Clump wearing different outfits and doing different styles of music.
I thought it was quite funny.
It's a bit silly.
It's silly.
You know, I think we've said this already, but let's say it now. Best character, Clump.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes gets the best episode, sometimes does the funniest things. I will never not laugh about his binoculars. I will never not laugh at that.
Yeah, it's fine.
At the barrel factory, DK and Diddy use banana skins to jam the machine and stop the barrels from moving. Bluster must call a repair man, even says repairman, and I was like, shouldn't be a repair ape. In and gives Candy the week off, unpaid, of course. She gets outraged by this, and I'm like, why would you be paid? You're not working.
Well, technically, it's not her fault. If it's like me going to work at Sainsbury's and the van's broke down, you ain't getting paid.
Oh, fair enough.
That's your fault.
Fair enough. That's true. Yeah, my job that wouldn't be the case either. Yeah. Yes. The underground shuts down, non-strike related. I will still get paid. Do you know what I mean?
I swear she's a slave. Like it's not like bloody like Anakin and bloody Water. No, what's the name?
Watto? Is this Watto, isn't it?
Yeah, Watto. Yeah.
Don't bring Star Wars into this, dude.
Sorry, she's a slave. That's the only reason why I can think why she has been forced to work and not getting paid. And paid in bananas too.
It's an odd one. Candy then meets DK and they're happy their dates can go ahead. However, Cranky appears and DK reveals that he must write his epitaph, and of course, Candy now storms off. So here's the thing. Fuck you again, Candy. Oh, DK, we can't have a date because I've got to work. DK's like, oh, that sucks. I'm sad about that. Oh, DK, we can have a date while I've got to write this epitaph, which could take 5 minutes if you help me.
Yep.
And then she's like, oh, you're bang out of order, and walks off. And it's like, oh, you're so selfish.
Every episode, man.
Doesn't paint her in a great light.
No.
Not sure how to progress. Did he suggest they ask the lamp about what the epitaph should be, so they head back to Funky's place. In K. Rool's lair, he thinks he's worked out how to activate it and does his version of the Mystic Oracle summoning chant, but again, nothing. It is Crusher who suggests they turn it on. But for some reason, K. Rool is electrocuted when he does because he is sweaty. That's a weird scene.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yep. He then orders them to get someone who can translate the lamp. And this is where this episode goes hilarious as far as I'm concerned. Funky arrives home to find Clump and Crusher and then tells them that his wave was crap. And they're like really sympathetic about it. They're like, oh, sorry, dude. And Crusher even starts to speak like him as well. No, Clump starts to speak him like as well. They're then like, look, we're really sorry, but we have to kidnap you and all that kind of thing. And he just goes along with it. He's like, oh, yeah, no, I get it. Let's go, that kind of thing. DK and Diddy then arrive and find the lamp gone, but also see lizard tracks. Talking about the whys of the theft, they realise that they also must have kidnapped Funky. At K. Rool's lair, K. Rool orders Funky to translate what Clump attempts to make K. Rool to go easy on him because he's had a rough day. Again, I laughed at this stuff. He's like, oh, go easy on him. He's had a rough day. He didn't get his wicked wave and stuff like that. K. Rool calls Funky a little weirdo, which I laughed as well. It's like, yeah, that was good. Yeah. And they have some back and forth, which is fun. Funky does the mystical oracle summoning chant, but with a lot less energy this time because he's down in the dumps. But it does work, and he reveals that K. Rool get what he deserves. That's what comes true. He'll get what he deserves. And K. Rool, because he's an idiot, celebrates. Because for some reason, he thinks this is going to give him everything he wants. Because he thinks, obviously, when he says he gets what he deserves, he thinks he deserves something good.
In a good way, not a bad way.
DK and Diddy arrive and demand K. Rool throw Funky, which he's like, yeah, cool. Off he goes. Funky and Clump say their surfer goodbyes and give him a minecart to leave, which I like that as well. DK also wants the lamp, and K. Rool was like, yeah, fine, happy to give it over, revealing to DK that the lamp said he would be ruler. And I was like, did it though? Did it?
Yep.
Before Funky leaves though, he makes it clear to K. Rool that that wasn't the case. K. Rool is now mad and orders Clump and Crusher to give chase on minecarts before following his own. So we get a brief minecart chase here, back and forth with everyone getting their hands on a lamp and so on.
I'm going to do what I have a tendency to do. But do you know who Clump reminds me of?
Go on.
It reminds me of Zangief from Street Fighter.
Street Fighter movie.
The movie, yeah. Because he's like sort of...
Idiotic.
He's 50-50. He's like he's either good or bad.
Yeah.
He's not sure which side to be on.
A little bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
That reminds me, you have seen Batman Returns, the one with the Penguin?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's the Penguin. In that, right, the character of Shrek, Mr. Shrek, played by Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
He has a son. Do you remember his son in that? Kind of blonde hair, blue eyes, bit of a uppity guy.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is? It's the guy that plays Zangief.
No.
Yep, 100%. Go back and watch it, or go back and look at the clip of him. Check the cast listing. That is Zangief. I couldn't believe it when I found out. 100% that is Zangief from Street Fighter movie.
Well, I can picture his face. But...
Yep, seriously.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah. But anyway, back on track. The lamp ends up in the hands of DK, Diddy and Funky, who will almost crash off a cliff in the White Mountains. We do get a really good threatening scene here as K. Rool follows and threatens to push the car over if he doesn't get the lamp. He's got his foot on it and he's kind of leaning it forward and he's like, give me the lamp or this is going over.
Just do it, man.
We did get this really long-winded back and forth about whether they should give it over. Just give it over. Who gives a shit? It doesn't mean anything. Nope. But DK ends up deciding to throw it away and K. Rool and his goons fall over the edge trying to get it. Oh, K. Rool's an idiot.
Yeah, it is.
The apes wonder if it could predict the future as Funky now catches his epic wave. His epic wave is snow surfing. Is that a wave though?
No.
Is it though? I don't think it is. DK then does a speech about fate and being in charge, which makes him realise that this is his epitaph. Cranky then appears and DK reveals it to him. And Cranky's really happy about this, including saying that it rocks his world. That is weird.
Yep.
I know it's not the first time in the episode he says that. I know he's earlier on he says it needs to rock his world. But I was like, that's weird.
It's a weird time to use that phrase.
Yeah, because you kind of hear that phrase and someone's maybe think a bit more sexual.
Yes.
It's going to rock my world. She's going to rock my world. Why? It's really weird. But overall, I don't mind this episode.
Yeah.
The lamp things are nonsense. What's actually fun in this is the interaction.
Yeah.
I really laughed several times at the interaction between Clump, Crusher and Funky. A lot. But I also like K. Rool a bit more in this as well. Because I like it when he's kind of just like, I've got my way, matter of fact, and stuff like that.
Yep.
And less idiotic. And here we get some of that.
I'll be interested to know that a lot of the episodes that we've enjoyed...
Yep.
It's been the episodes with hardly...
Focus on the crystal coconut.
Yeah, it hasn't been mentioned.
Yep.
I know it's been...
But it's not the goal. It's not the goal.
It's something different. It's like,
yeah.
I'll be interested to wonder if we've enjoyed those episodes more than the ones with it.
I'd be interested to know as well about that too. Which one's kind of like that. But I thought this was a better than average episode.
Yep.
You know, we are 31 episodes in here. We're not seeing anything particularly clever or that interesting overall. But when we get a decent episode like this, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Episode 1, Monkey Seer, Monkey Do. You got any thoughts and you know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?